You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AfterBuzz TV for Teen Mom. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest Teen Mom news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off, and the buzz continues. It's AfterBuzz TV for Teen Mom.
Hello and welcome all to you loyal listeners. I want to play. I have to go say about that again. But this is not Mari Fagel as usual. Usually is hosting the show. This is your main Damie, Eddie B, ready to step in and grab the steel with the crown on top. And I would just like I'm going to cue Jesse. Jesse, I'm so glad we got DJ Jesse in the studio. When I cue you, I need you to come on the mic and give me a yes sir when you hear cue. But anyway, we also have the lovely Isabel with us.
Hello, guys.
I like to point out the fact that, you know, sometimes Mari is really busy doing her East Coast wonderfulness, everything she does, a reporter, all kinds of stuff. And so we appreciate Isabel always being ready to still show up to the show and help move things along. And so anyway, we're here. We're about ready to go. DJ Jesse, here's your cue.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, anyway. So we're going to give a quick recap of this last show, which actually had a lot going on.
Good, but let's also tell the guys it's season 3 and it's our episode 8. We're getting closer to the end, so that's important. So if anybody was wondering, this is episode 8.
Okay, thank you, Isabel. See, that's why we need her. Okay, so Isabel, you said Macy was first.
Yes, let's go ahead and start with Macy because this episode started with Macy.
What's the first thing you have? Remind me.
So we're gonna. So it continues from the last episode. We see Macy coming on to the. Starting off mentioning she dropped classes. She didn't. She never said she dropped out of college, which is a good thing. Yeah. She just dropped classes, and she's focusing on her time on Bentley.
Yeah. Okay. Now I remember. Yeah. And you're right. It was important to note that she's not planning on ever going to school, and she's not planning on dropping out of all that stuff. She just dropped a couple of classes that she knew she would do bad in to save her GPA. But more importantly, we had to get with what I love, the fact that everybody she said this to basically asked her the same question. When she said, I want to have another baby, everybody said, are you crazy?
Yeah.
Everybody said, are you crazy? Are you crazy? And that was just hilarious to me. But you know what? I saw some real – I don't get it. To me, Kyle is in there. To me, Kyle is more a stepdad to Bentley than he is a boyfriend to Macy. It's more like he's more there for Bentley than Macy, almost.
But you know what? But I think that's what happens. I think he understands what it's like to be a dad to a 2-year-old or to a baby. You no longer, whatever your wife or your boyfriend or your girlfriend needs, it's not important at the time. Yeah. I mean, we saw this when they take Bentley. Macy thinks it's time to take Bentley around other kids because she says he needs to be, he doesn't feel like he spends enough time around other kids, which is true. If you notice all the shows, I think she's the one that doesn't have any friends with kids. We've never seen Bentley around other kids. So I thought that was a great thing for her to take him to daycare. And what did you feel, Ed, when they were trying to drop him off and he's like going ballistic?
Yeah. I mean, I felt like the whole thing, like how the mom feels, especially the mom is the primary caregiver, and I feel like how she is, her mood, everything really translates into, it kind of moves into the kid. Sometimes if the mom is upset, then the kids are more upset. If the mom feels scared, whatever it is, instability in the mom, usually the kids feel it. And in this case, I think what we have is, Macy was in school and doing everything and taking and cooking dinner and being a girlfriend and being an ex-girlfriend and being a mom. And she was feeling overwhelmed. She couldn't get her schoolwork done. So what she do? She did the smart thing. She reduced the stuff that she had to do. And now what's happened is she's got all this time on her hands when Bentley's not around. She's bored, and she's wanting to fill it with another baby that won't have to leave.
Right.
And so I'm just feeling like, she is really sort of kind of not stable. I mean, she's stable. She's a great person, but I mean, she just doesn't really know what she wants or how to accomplish everything that's in front of her. So I was just feeling like maybe Bentley can sense that, and feel a little like, like insecure a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it broke my heart. I was watching it and I had like little tears running, like, don't leave him. And it was so cute when Kyle's the one that gave up before she did. He's like, I'm just going to go in there and get him and play around with him. But, it was also shocking that her way of feeling up those moments when she's bored is she thinks, oh, having another kid is what's going to fix that. What about going back to school? You dropped off some classes because you have no time for them, you're stressed, you have no time. Well, then now maybe you should look into some classes that are available the days that you don't have Bentley. I mean, really? Your best option or your best solution is let me have another baby.
Well, and that's why, everybody said, are you crazy? And she's not crazy, obviously. She's just very young. She's just very young, and Kyle is also very young. And it's like, okay, they know in their head how to, what the right things to do, but it's like, how do you make that sort of decisions and commitments at that age? The first one was kind of, she made a mistake or, and then she got pregnant, so that one's done. But now it's like, okay, you're going to choose to do it again. That's why everybody's saying, are you crazy? But it's a short show. We can move on whenever you're ready for the next one.
No, before we do, I wanted to point out, for a long time we have not seen Macy get upset or even talk about how hurt she was when Ryan ended the whole relationship, when this whole breakup happened,
Yep.
And her friends reminded her of that, and you thought she couldn't even hold her tears. She was just so hurt to go back to that darkness where she was when Ryan was acting like a douche and not being the dad he was supposed to be and hurting her and hurting Bentley. And it was just sad to remember all that, and she finally realized, they're right. I still have a lot of healing, a lot of things to do before I can even think of having a second kid. And not to mention, Kyle has no job, like he said. I'm not even working, and she's thinking about having another baby already.
Yeah, I feel like even though she has moments, it's just she's not settled. She's not settled in her mind. She doesn't know. A couple episodes ago, she was wondering, she was feeling like running away and being, away from Kyle. There was moments of that. So
right.
She's really, the next day.
She's just all over the place for the moment, but it's okay. She still doing the right thing for Bentley, and that's what's important.
Oh, yeah.
She's allowed
totally
to be a little confused.
Yeah, totally understandable.
So next we have our favorite girl of the show, Amber. There wasn't much of a storyline for her during this episode. Maybe it's because she was stuck going to court or, dealing with this whole mess, because we did see a social services agent, which we've never even heard of or knew that they were involved. So I finally, when I saw her and I saw social services, I thought to myself, maybe this is why she doesn't have, such a long story on this episode.
Oh, well, they called this lady social worker, and she could easily be just somebody who's works in the child protective services, who we do know has been involved. So that's probably what it is. But I thought, okay, see, normally there's no I haven't seen any reason.
Well, that's what I meant. Like there's so much chunk left out of her storyline that we don't know, because I thought they went to court, everything was dropped, and she still has Leah in her custody. Therefore, Gary can just go drop her off, or Gary's mom. The end. But we see social services coming in between.
Like there's some reason why Gary or his mom can't go over to Amber's house. I mean, that's ridiculous. But the fact that we don't know why, but it could be because there's been an assault and, all these other things. It's just that, they've been together and the authorities knew about it, and they've dropped Leah back and forth after the assault, and and before now. So it's kind of you're right. We don't know what's going on, but I was watching this part where the Leah gets to go be with Amber.
Yes.
And I was kind of wondering, is Leah? I mean, it seems like she hasn't been around her mom in a long time.
Right.
I think that's probably left out. I think she has been around her more than we think. But then I kept thinking that it was all nice and the music was nice and it was all like teardrop and it's so sweet. I kept thinking that MTV was going to throw us something like mean at the end or something negative, but I didn't see anything super negative.
I thought you were going to say what I felt when Leah went with the social services agent. Totally different from Bentley. Leah not once cried or cared who she was going with.
Yeah.
It's like, it makes no difference if she's with mom. So just like you said, she may not even know that's her mom. She's like, whatever, I don't care. Nothing scares me. Like, this little girl will go with anyone, apparently.
Yeah. And we know she calls her mom, and she calls her mom Amber.
Amber.
So she's like.
So we see Amber back into the dating scene again. And apparently, she was fast enough to go on a date, but it took her a month to get Leah's room together for Leah to come back and move in with her.
Don't say that. That's mean.
Well, it's true. It took her a month. After she got her home, it took her a month to buy a few, 99-cent toys, throw them in the room, and say, hey, Leah, your room's ready for you.
Isabel.
I'm just saying.
But anyway, we know we always say how Amber's, got 1,000 excuses, but we also know that she's got a really difficult, situation too. But so yeah, I understand it. But she did it. The room looked great. It was awesome. And she crawled into her little pink tent, and then they live happily ever after.
So let's wait and see what happens to Amber as she's starting to date a single dad. Well, I don't even know if you can call that a single dad since he's out. Who knows if he has his daughter with him or not. But we learned that he has a kid as well who's only 14 months old. And he's already on a date with a new baby mama.
I was bored with that date.
Yeah, it was, it's just, I just don't think MTV wants to spend time on a new guy when we know Amber has a new guy every episode. So why spend all this time on this date? Just see her again. Here she is with a new guy. They'll be gone by next week, and she'll have someone else next week.
Yep.
Nothing big there. We don't see much of Gary. We just see him, saying bye to baby Leah. And we end up with Amber kissing her new date and hopefully falling in love and making a new baby.
Whatever. Okay, who's next?
Then we have Caitlin and Tyler, one of your favorite peeps.
Yeah, you know what? They are awesome. But it is getting crazy.
It is getting crazy.
Come on, it's not, if they gave the baby up for adoption, I love the fact that they want their daughter to be in their lives. They want to stuff, but dude, when
you gave up your rights.
Yeah, it's like, how are you gonna? Is it gonna be like this for the rest of your life? Because guess what? The more you think about her, and the more you give her gifts, the more you're gonna want to see her, and you're not. It's not gonna stop. It's not gonna stop. It's your daughter. The grandma is coming in.
Yes, both all grandmas, grandpa.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting involved, and I'm wondering, when they were going through this, are we going to give her up for adoption? Are we not? We know that Tyler's dad was very much against it, and Caitlin's mom was also against it, but they never, show enough support to say, keep the baby, we'll help you, we'll be here, let's just work it out, let's keep the baby, and we'll all be a big family. Never, until now. Everybody wants to be part of it. And this is where it gets tricky. We finally get to see it's not that easy. I don't think Caitlin and Tyler realize how little they would get to be in touch with their daughter. I mean, I think Tyler's forgetting that their daughter is not theirs anymore and that they don't have much rights as of now.
Yeah, and she said that too. She said, we didn't realize when we gave her up for adoption how hard it would be for not just us, but all the other members of our family that would love the baby and want to be in her life and stuff. So that's like something that they're realizing now. And the other thing that's a big difference is that the dad and the mom can't talk to each other still,
right.
And everything is more peaceful because remember they said when they were together, when everybody was together, everybody was fighting all the time and all this stuff. So
cutting each other.
Yeah, things are more clear. The grandparents are like, well, I don't have, I'm not fighting with anybody right now. Life's pretty good. I'd like to see my granddaughter and buy her a Christmas gift and be a part of her life. Oops, can't. She's gone.
Right. It's kind of like a peaceful time, and everybody finally gets to really focus on what was really important. And in this case, it would be baby, who's no longer part of them. But it was really nice to see, both Tyler and his dad and Caitlin and her mom, who are doing great after going to therapy. That shows us also that therapy is not a bad thing. When you need it, it helps out. And they're having, it was really cute to see all of them shopping for this I don't want to say imaginary granddaughter, but it kind of is. Like they haven't even met her, they haven't even seen her. And then you hear poor Tyler, who seems to be the one that misses his daughter the most. Yeah. I mean, I know Caitlin misses her, but we really never see her crying for her or anything.
Right.
You see Tyler say, again, it's hard to shop for her when you don't even know what she's into.
Yep. You don't get to see her on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he was saying that to make his dad feel better, because his dad was like, what do I get her? I don't know. But you're right. He's very sensitive to all of that. So.
Sad. And let's not forget the huge ordeal. Tyler's mom called the adoptive parents, Brandon and Teresa, just out of nowhere. I mean, can you imagine getting a call if you adopted a baby and it's like, hey, I'm her grandma. Like, no, you ain't her grandma.
Yeah, but it's such a sad situation, because they, now they're seeing that, hey, wow, maybe, I think in my mind, they're thinking what they're not saying. They're thinking, wow, look we could have all come together and really made this work. We could have.
Right.
Just like we do for Caitlin's little brother. We all came together. Everybody helped.
It's a horrible realization.
Yeah, it's so sad.
Too late.
It's so sad. Yeah, so sad.
And we learned that Tyler and Caitlin want to have their baby at their graduation, Carly at the graduation, and they're all excited to find a nice way to let the adoptive parents know and ask for permission, but a little too late, because Grandma calls and mentions this without even consulting Caitlin and Tyler. So not only did she call and say, hey, this is Grandma, by the way, I'm so excited that Carly's going to be at their graduation.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and you notice how they keep saying that both Brandon and Teresa, the adoptive parents, were freaked out by this. What do you think not only do you think they were only freaked out by the call, or the fact that Caitlin and Tyler want to get a little closer and have Carly at their graduation? Like, do you think that's a little too intimate? Maybe that's what's bothering them as well.
Well, I think they're freaked out because of the same reason that we're freaked out, because this adoption is not going the way that they think an adoption is supposed to go. It's like, okay, we adopted the baby as our daughter because you guys couldn't provide what the baby needs. So we're providing it now. And, having a lot of people that love a child is great, but not like, 10 grandparents. And so that's what I think they're freaking out about. That call is just one piece. The social worker, the adoption counselor, she was encouraging them to buy Christmas presents, which I guess I just had to sit back and go, okay, I guess she knows better than us, because that doesn't seem like what they should be doing. But she was encouraging them and all this stuff. So there's parts of this whole process that we don't understand, but to me it seems like, okay, you adopted the baby's over there, and so it's not yours anymore.
Right, it's too much involvement and painful. So, maybe this will teach other parents who decide to go that route that maybe an open adoption is harder than what you think. Now that we're saying that adoption's not a great choice for some people, but maybe a close one is better.
Yep.
Okay, well, let's move on.
Can we get to that?
Yeah, I'm sure you're excited about that.
Oh my
Are you
God.
that so excited? Did you drop the phone?
I didn't have the phone, but I tell you what, when I was watching the show and she was in Santa Monica, I was getting ready to go to my car.
I was thinking about you the entire time, Farrah.
I was driving around Santa Monica saying, Farrah,
this is what happens.
Girl?
See, if you had her on your Twitter, you would have known when Farrah was taking a mini vacation alone, may I add, alone. To not only California, but Santa Monica and Studio City and Laurel Canyon.
That's okay, sir. I'll be the shoulder that you could cry on.
Oh,
so
gosh.
It's going to be all right.
Well, we have Farrah,
Yeah.
and for most of you guys who did not know, she is considering moving away from her parents and all her support system, and she thinks she's ready to do this on her own with Sophia by her side and maybe the puppy. She never even mentioned. We didn't even get to see the puppy this season.
We did.
This
We did.
episode.
The puppy was in there. Yeah. Sophia was holding the puppy upside down on her belly.
Upside down.
You know, like the puppy was laying on his back. It was cute.
Okay, so it would probably be Farrah, Sophia, and puppy, coming to wherever she's thinking she's moving. So she chooses California to begin with.
That's right. Coming to right down the street from us. Right down the street.
You're a little too excited, Ed. Calm down.
Okay.
You're a little too excited.
But anyway, here's what I want to say about Farrah. Okay, we got to see her, her poor attitude again with her parents, just back talking both. I'm just like, come on, they're only there to help. But again, remember there was that one episode where I felt sort of how, no offense to the mom, how annoying some of the things that she did could be. So I kind of understood Farrah for a second, but I don't think it justifies the sort of disrespectful things she said. So, but here's what my take this time was when she was talking to her dad, because this was the longest conversation with her dad that I've seen since, I rewatched the first.
We don't even know if that's her dad. Michael?
Yeah, why did she call him Michael?
I don't know.
But they kind of look alike, so I'm still
right.
That. So he was the first one that got, wind of, or she told about wanting to move. And then, to me, everything he said was right on point. He was like, yeah, you got to be concerned about safety. You're going to be single. You're not going to have the support system. It was all perfect. And she was really impatient with him. And you know what? The thing is, for Farrah, I think the reality is that her parents are babying her for whatever reason, nonstop. They don't think that she can do, it's not that they don't think she can do stuff on her own, but they don't see a reason why she should, because they're there and ready to help, and they'll give money and help. You can live in their house. They'll babysit Sophia anytime. So they don't understand why she doesn't want to, use all of that.
Right.
And so my thing is, when she is constantly, being disrespectful, what she's frustrated about is that nothing she says ever convinces her parents to leave her alone. They never, she could say, he said this. He goes, it's dangerous for you to go. And she goes, I'm aware of that. And I'm like, really? That's your answer? Is you're aware that it's dangerous and so you're just going to do it? No, there's a better way to talk about it. But she's frustrated because it doesn't matter. Anything she says, they don't change. They still want to be involved. They still want to tell her how the best way to do stuff. They still want to, micromanage and do all that. So that's really
and they keep reminding her it has nothing to do with the fact that we don't trust you. We think the idea of why you want to move is a great idea. It shows that you want to do all these great things for you and your daughter, but you are kind of being a little selfish and forgetting your daughter. You need a support system. You're a young single mom. You're trying to move to a place where no one. I mean, it's different, I think, when you have a few friends or a few relatives. But here she's trying to go somewhere where she knows no one. They keep reminding her, we're your support system, your safety. We help you, and she keeps saying, I don't need you guys anymore. I'm done. But let's not forget where you're living, Farrah. You're still living at your parents' house. Yeah. So rude. They keep reminding her, who's going to babysit your daughter? I mean, here you're able to go do your thing, go do anything you want because we're staying with her. You can't just find a new babysitter and say, oh, I like this babysitter. This is going to work fine for Sophia. Sophia's so used to seeing familiar faces. Here's another baby that is not, like Leah left anywhere. I think Sophia would be shocked, like her mom said. This is a bad decision, not because of you, but because of Sophia. But, in the end, you still see both parents be supportive, and they let her fly out to California, drive by you, Ed, and you probably didn't even notice her, and she was driving right by you in Santa Monica.
Yeah, whatever.
And she goes out to check out a few apartments. Do you know that she was even rude to the real estate lady?
You talking about when she was in person or on the phone to the guy?
In person, when she asked, what about the furniture? Do we get to keep? And the lady goes, oh yeah, you can keep a few furniture. She's like, I don't want it. Like, okay.
That wasn't rude. She just knows what she wants. She's just
Okay, Ed. Okay, I'm just telling you. You might want to be careful with this one. But she sees a few apartments, decides she doesn't like any of them. She goes to school just to check out the school, and her decision, I'm sure there was more to this, but based on what she says, her decision as to why she decides California is not for her, it's because of the construction around the school.
Oh, man. Yeah, well.
And she didn't fall in love with California. Therefore, Ed, you might want to still throw out your number because she's not moving to California, it looks like.
Oh, yeah, the number is 424-256-1729. That's AfterBuzz. Okay, so I guess we can move because DJ Jesse's got to go save the planet or something.
Yeah, so let's give some fast predictions for our next episode. I'm sorry.
I'm really concerned. I don't even remember what the previews were for next one, but I'm really concerned about
our AfterBuzz TV.
Yeah, and wait.
Whatever. I can predict what the music is.
Come on, Ed. What are you doing, bud?
Okay, now.
Yeah,
now. There you go. There's your cue, Ed.
Okay, I predict that Farrah is going to come to her senses and move back to California. That's number one. Number two, I predict that Amber's going to have some difficult situations ahead. No, of course we know that. No, I'm really worried about where things are going for Caitlin and Tyler because it's going to be...
Ed, you got to be quicker than that.
Oh, okay. We're quick.
I predict that Ed is being cut off.
Yeah. By DJ Jesse Janity. I thought he was my friend.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janity, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz, see you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.